in Scratch to show you what we're going to be doing. Here I am, hello. And what I've got is I've got some instruments and my little singer here in the corner, and the idea is that when I wave my arm over the instruments, you're going to hear them play. So I've got the microphone on mute, the speaker on mute at the moment because it keeps going off. I'll show you in the code in a minute how it works. Let me just make it full screen. And if I take it off mute, so nothing's happening at the moment because the camera is still, and it's only when I wave my hands over the instrument it will play. It's a little sensitive, so from time to time changes in the light can set off the character like you just heard there. But it should only work when you tap the instrument. And there you go. And if you wave your arm over everything, it gets very noisy very quickly. So I'm just going to put the speaker back on mute. Alright, so that's the drum kit. I want to show you how to make your very own one. So for this, I want to make a brand new piece of code. And I can't do that on this version of Scratch. I have to actually just open a whole new browser. But when you've created something, the best way to save it, because you can't save it on the computer either, you have to download it to your computer. And it will put a file on your computer for you. And then you can upload that later to use it. So I'm going to go ahead, just quit that now, because I've just downloaded it. And I'm going to create a brand new one and show you how it works. So I have to say, try it. And try it again. And this is what the new Scratch looks like. It's very similar to the old Scratch, if you're familiar with that. But it's got a couple of extra little features on it, and one of the big ones is down here in the bottom left corner. You can choose to have all these extra add-ons. You could have a few of these in the old Scratch, but you can do more now. And the one that we're going to focus on is this one called Video Sensing. Sense motion with the camera. So once you've clicked on there, you get this extra little green button here. We'll give you some more options, and as you can see, the webcam has popped up. I'm just going to get rid of the sprite because I don't need the cat. Okay, and you can do all different checks to see what's happening on the screen. And we're going to actually put in a check to see if a button is being pressed. I'm going to create a new sprite. And I want to make a button. So I'm thinking I'm making a piano or something like that. So I'm going to have, let's just keep it a simple green button for now. And when I wave my hand over this, I want to create a note. I want to create a sound. And I'm actually going to have 3 buttons by the end of this tutorial. And each button is going to play a slightly different note, like on a piano. Okay, so make sure I'm clicking on the button sprite here. And I'm going to bring in this tab over here. And this is when video motion is greater than 10. And it basically is just changing how sensitive the camera is. The higher the number, the less sensitive it is. So it needs more video motion to make the code that's going to come underneath it, the code to work. So when the video motion is bigger than 20, I want to get it to do something. So I'm going to put in one more event, and I'm going to get it to check if, and let's go to variables and bring in this one. I'll explain what I'm doing in a minute because there's just a few things to show you first. So if and let's go back to video sensing, video motion on sprite is greater than 20. Okay. So this first little code just checks that anything is happening on the screen at all. So when anything is moving, so even if I was moving over here, this code would wake up. Then it's going to check to see if the video motion on the sprite is greater than 20. So if something is happening there. And now if you can see, if I wave my hand over there, you can see that this is lighting up to say, yep, it's moving. Now what do you want me to do? It's not doing anything at the moment, so we need to tell it to do something. Okay, so I want to get it to play a sound. So go to sounds, and I'm going to play, in this case, the pop sound, because it's the only one I've got loaded up. So if I take it off mute for a second and put my hand over there, it'll just pop back on mute. But I don't want that. I want an actual piano sound. So I'm going to jump over to this tab up here and click Sounds. And then down here for Choose a Sound. And then I'm going to find a piano sound. So let's say A on the electric piano. If I'll take it off mute for a sec. There you go, that's perfect. What's this one? Oh, I quite like that one too. We've got all these other instruments here. Let's stick with piano because you could play here all day looking for a note. Okay, so that's my A for the piano. And if I just jump back onto the code, it still says play sound the pop. So it will still pop. I just need to change that now. You see it's got piano loaded up. So now, and notice that it has to play the whole sound because we've selected this tab which says play sound until done. If I wanted to, I could just say start the sound piano and then, so in that case I can just keep pressing the button, which is probably more like a piano would behave. So let's switch it for that one. So that's it. That's my first button created. Perfect. So what I want to do now is go and make 2 more buttons that use the same code, but just slightly different sounds. I'm going to make it a lot easier for myself. Rather than having to do all of that code again, I'm just going to click duplicate and duplicate again. So this is on those buttons, and I can move those to there. And now you can see not only has it duplicated the sprite, but it's also copied the code across as well, which is perfect because that's exactly what we want. We just want to change the piano sound. So I need to go into each button and go to Sounds again, and then choose a new sound. So I've got my A sound. Let's put this up for a minute. And let's go to piano. So we've got an A, let's have an, I don't know if it's in the regular chord, so perfect, let's do E piano. And then finally, we'll change this last one for, let's have a G. F, G piano, perfect. Okay, so now we've got the 3 buttons. We just need to make sure that the start sound on each of them matches with what we loaded into it, A, E, and G. Okay, now notice that when I moved the camera there, moved my computer, it played all 3 because the whole screen just moved. It can't distinguish between my arms waving and just the background moving. So if you shake your computer, you get this sort of sound. Anyway, I'll just move back a little bit and we'll show you how it works. And that's it. Pretty straightforward. And I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot of fun making your own versions of it. That's it. Thank you.